what it is.
I'm Amaya from Big Obo Media. It's great to be here with the both of you today. First of all, congratulations on Down in the Valley. I have been a P-Valley fan since the show came out, so this is just a really nice treat for those of us who are patiently waiting for P-Valley. Of course, Nicco, you are executive producer, one of the executive producers on here, as well as you are the narrator and the host. What is it like being in the
What's it like being in the Valley? What's it like being in the world?
in the producer seat of the world, yes, or in the Valley?
Got you, because it froze. I got you. It's interesting. This is a seat that I've always been in. I am happy for the world to be able to see another part of my artistry. I am an actor, a choreographer, and a director. And producer. This has always been who I've been, and it's come from a space of I've had to, I am a larger frame man. I am dark skinned. I am not your quote unquote tradition of what Hollywood used to say. And I say used to say with applause. I'm glad that those days are over. Could be a leading man. And when those doors were closed to me that said, no, you can't be this, you can't play that, you can't do this because you don't look this way, you have a gap in your teeth, you have full lips, and now it's a different day, So because I had those doors that were closed to me, I turned and used all of my gifts. So when I was in New York and in my training at the conservatory at Purchase in New York, I was directing, I was choreographing, I was producing on my own. So it was something that just builded up from New York to LA to Chicago, Detroit, along the way. And now it's just being done on this level. So it's not something that's new to me, but most of the people that I did have to work with and are meeting me coming from P-Valley were like, oh, you actually have something to say. Mm-hmm. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Of course you do. Of course you do. We would expect nothing less. Shoshana, what was your favorite episode to film?
Well, I was just saying, they're all my little babies, but I do have my favorite child. And that is the hoodoo episode.
That's my favorite.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, for me, that episode is just so rich and there's so much more. I mean, I love, the idea of African ritual and how it has followed us from the very beginning, from when we were enslaved, off of the plantations, into the cities, into our lives, into our rituals. I'm very interested in ritual in general and how ritual can help us to inform our lives, help to heal us, help to ground us. So that to me was very special. And I learned so much. We're constantly getting the opportunity to learn. And that's the beauty of storytelling. You're constantly in situations where you're like, oh, I didn't know this, or, oh, this is, so interesting and so fascinating. And so there were so many beautiful moments that we don't even get captured on camera. We had one moment when we were in the woods with the hoodoo practitioner, who is, we couldn't show her face. And Nicco was talking about a woman that he'd lost who transitioned and gone on home, and how, he was like, I think Patty was her name. And he was talking about how he would see butterflies all the time. I'm not joking when I say there were no butterflies, and all of a sudden all these butterflies came out and some were landing on her shoulders. The cameramen were tripping out. They were like, what is going on? Yeah. But yeah, to me, that's my little baby. That's the one I love.
I watch it. Go ahead, Nicco.
I was just gonna say, one of the things that was so amazing about filming the series was that as the proxy, as the host, I get to go into all of these different spaces and learn so much. Oftentimes people, in the Pink Posse, they pitch themselves. Why don't you put me on? I got some music, or I'm a dancer, or, I do this. To be able to go and see what it is that the people really do, and to learn about it, to learn about Sharonda and her mission about its sexual pleasure and, you know, how she has a level of freedom just as a Black woman and how she empowered many people in the community and her mission behind that. Like that was so, it was beyond on the flat line. It was just dope.
Yeah.
It was dope to be able to be around people that had something to say that was an exchange. So when I'm in these spaces, it's like I'm coming into your living room for real, as you watching this at home. I'm coming into your living room for real and having fun. We sitting down, we talking, and we cooking, and we dancing.
Yeah, no, that's actually another one, and that's probably like my second favorite episode, but I was sitting there watching it with my co-host as we were preparing to review it. And as soon as she started to unwrap, you know, I was like, that's a cow tongue. And he was like, why do you know that? And I was like, I don't know, right? I just knew, you know what I mean? And so I think it is powerful for all these different stories to come alive for us, people of color, all genders, all sexual orientations, to be in the household and be able to share stories that will touch other people and inspire other people to be their true selves. So I'm really excited for the world to see it. Is there a different episode? Because it could be the same, but is there a particular episode that evokes like an emotional like tie or something really intense for you that stood out?
No, but one of my favorites, I would say definitely would be 10 Toes Down, you know, that's in Charleston, Mississippi. And we also went to Bentonia, Mississippi, where I got to see Mr. Jimmy. And for me, one of the things that I love is being around my elders. I don't get to see my elders. I don't have any living grandparents anymore in my life. So to be in a space where I can have an exchange with people who have paved the way for me, even in this industry, you know, I'm here at Miss Ernestine's juke joint and here in Uncle Clifford's office. And, you know, Ernestine played by Loretta Devine, and the things that she's done in the industry that have paved a way, you know, for all of us, you know, and to be able to work with her, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And to be able to see and sit down and listen to Mr. Jimmy, who's been Grammy nominated, really just play the blues on this guitar and like, I'm listening to that. Like, did you just make that up? And I'm like, yo, he freestyling. He freestyling just like you freestyle dance, you freestyle rap, you know. It was just great and beautiful because I don't always get to see my family as much, you know, working in LA and in Hollywood and all of this stuff and here in Atlanta.
Right.
Yeah, I think for me, you know, the emotion you're asking about, you know, emotion or something that really hit for me, having an opportunity to tell the experiences of Black women, and in particular, Black women in relationship to our bodies. So much has happened to our bodies historically. And so to be able to create space for Black women to talk about that, to talk about their experiences, to talk about it honestly, to put them in context, you know, and not just have it be, you know, a body that's not attached to a heart and a spirit and a soul and to desires and dreams. So to be able to humanize us, I think, you know, it brings up a lot of emotion in me just because, you know, we all have our own personal stories, but also just having, you know, feeling other Black women and the empathy that I feel towards our experience. I think that to me was the sort of most tender aspect of the production.
Yeah, I love that. You couldn't have said it any better. I'm super excited that I got to interview you both today. I'm really excited. Me and my partner have already watched all the episodes. We are patiently waiting for everybody to catch up once it's released. Like I have these type of conversations with my friends just about the industry, just life, you know, itself, spirituality, you know, sexuality, everything, family, blues, you know, the land, you know, that was probably really an amazing moment that I saw on the show as well. And so I can't wait for the world to receive this. And I just want to say thank you to both of you for being in a space and being open to receive the blessing, right, of this venture, to be able to come through you to share with the world. So thank you all for your time. I appreciate it.
I thank you. So I can tell you mean that. You mean that. And I'm grateful. Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you.
Of course.